Hello, it's Grant here at MPW, and today we're recording General Talk, and our subject is Do Loud Pipes Save Lives? I'm here with Tony and Bill, and we're going to get our opinions on that subject. So let's start with Tony. What do you think, Tony? Do you think loud pipes save lives?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. That was great.
No, I definitely do. I always run a loud pipe and people always know I'm there. If I run a quiet pipe, I'm always getting pulled out on, and it could be in my head, but that's what I think anyway. I mean, it's a bit obnoxiously loud, but
Okay.
you always know I'm there.
Billion, what are your thoughts?
Definitely. If only one car that pulls out hears it, that's one car that's stopped, hopefully. So, of course it makes a difference.
Another question I would ask is there a point where it becomes obnoxious? Is there an optimum level of noise for the street? So from my point of view, I had a stock system on my MT-07 and that was silent. You couldn't even hear the engine. And as you say, people were pulling out on me. It was pretty sketchy. As soon as I got my Toro full system, people actually start moving out your way when you're filtering. People notice you. I don't think my exhaust is obnoxiously loud. I think my exhaust is kind of in a good range where it's not, because it's got the baffle in, it's not without the baffle. So
it's not ridiculous because you've got a twin, so it's not too bad. Like if you have the baffle out and it's like a straight pipe, then a twins are ridiculously loud. But same could be said for inline fours, like mine. But yours is quite a nice level, to be fair. When you do open it up, it does sound quite nice and not obnoxious.
Because the annoying thing is, with the baffle out, it does sound better, but to me, it's too loud. What do you think? What are you gonna?
Yeah, I think not with yours so much, but certain, but like yours is verging. It's not obnoxious, but it's verging on obnoxious.
It really is.
Mine isn't. Mine's quite a quiet bike. It doesn't rev very high either, so it's never going to be a obnoxious mine, I don't think. But yes, there can be the point where it's too loud.
So when you chuck a straight through pipe on a 125 and it's just a fart cannon going down the road, and they just tend to put some insanely big bore end cans on there, and then it's just noise for the sake of noise. You can hear it a mile down the road, that's all right. I mean, you're being heard, but it's just annoying when that's super obnoxious.
I think most bikers as well will, when they hear one of those super loud cans, everyone will agree, what an idiot.
Yeah.
It's just a very tiny percentage that go that extra 10 decibels, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you get the Harley crew in the middle of Hassocks, all with straight through pipes, with their friggin' agricultural engines, is the worst thing on the planet. And I like an aftermarket exhaust.
Those can be. With a Harley with a straight short pipe is insanely loud when they go for it though. And open up, leaving white ways or something like that, and you could just hear them until they get to a freaking Arundel. It's just insanely loud. I mean, that's not for me. That's like obviously a big V twin just chugging away down the road, but that for me is obnoxious. That's too much. That's just too much noise.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of experiments, or not a couple, I've watched one big experiment where they did, I think the aim of the experiment was to prove loud pipes don't make a difference. Before they'd even done it, they wanted to, that was the aim of the goal, so that's where they got to. But, they had a microphone in the car, they kept on bringing a bike closer and closer and testing sound and testing reactions. But it was all done in such a way to prove it the way they wanted it to go. Whereas there's another guy that I watch, and he just took their testing apart. And he's not into loud pipes, but he took their tests. It's quite a famous test if you search.
You'll have to find the link, Bill.
It's quite a well-known one, but yeah, he just takes them apart. I won't give you the link to him taking them apart because his language is a bit fruity, but it's good. It's good.
Sounds like how flat earthers try to prove the earth is flat. They go into an experiment thinking it's going to be flat, and then it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, it's hard to prove something if you're already going and being biased, right? You've got to be even-handed. Is it like with me? I'm not into being loud and fast and obnoxious, but like from personal experience, I've had a quiet bike and seen how sketchy it is when people are wanting to pull out on you, to having something with an aftermarket system, and it does make a difference. I think you've got to be careful though that you don't stray into that area where you, as a biker, you're just expecting everyone to know you're there and like, oh, I'm loud, so you better get out of my way. Because I think I see a bit of that as well when you got people hooning along.
I think a good thing recently is lighting as well. Because it was like with Bill's bike, when I see him behind me, I know he's there before I even know I can hear him because of the extra lights on his bike. A lot more bikes nowadays are getting extra lighting and auxiliary lights here and there, and that does make a difference as well. Like with electric bikes, I couldn't ride one at the moment because they're so quiet. Also, I do rely on my engine as a bit of a safety thing, like when I'm coming up to a junction, if somebody's looking the other way to where I'm coming from, it is a bit of a worry, so I go have a little blip or beep on a horn or something just to let them know. But on an electric bike, obviously, you just got the horn. But then they always have fancy headlights and more lighting going on.
Rev bombs are I think they're far more effective than pressing the horn. You're on the throttle already, so you can do it quicker than getting your thumb to the horn. Yeah. And my sort of take on it is people tend to think if they've properly pulled out on you when they shouldn't have done, a rev bomb makes them think, oops, something's already happened, I've caused something to happen. Yeah. Whereas a horn, they just give you maybe a look and disregard it. Whereas a rev bomb can sound like they've caused an incident already, and it makes them react quicker. Yeah,
there's more chance of reaction, especially like in Brighton town. If you give a beep, nobody really looks because they're so used to people beeping at you and that. But if you give a rev bomb, everybody looks at you and everybody knows bike there, car there.
That's not rev bomb for the sake of being offensive. It's just I'm here. Yeah.
Kind of it's not like a red line rev bomb. None of that.
Do you think that's interpreted as, oh, that guy's there, or this is an obnoxious goon with an aftermarket exhaust thing?
Either way, they know I'm there. So
I think it's literally, it's usually, oh, crikey, there's somebody there. Crikey.
Crikey.